And we run into a little snafu, a little quirk. Back to Mid-10, folks. We're in the old Apache this morning. We're gonna try to do some burn down on the corn ground. It looks like somebody's been up here cutting some donuts. Gee, thanks there, folks. I love to get up in a field and think, oh, we just burn it down and plant it. Nope. Might have to bring a disc up here, smooth out some stuff. But from here, it looks like they had no road huggers on there and didn't really tear it up. They might have just spun on the top of the grass. So as long as that's all they did, we won't bring a disc, but if they get down deeper than that, we'll have to come smoother up. That being said, we're gonna get rolling. All right, so I gotta get backed up first. Oh, first things first, put it in gear. Then we'll get backed up where we need to be. Get backed up. Now we're where we need to be. Okay, we're gonna start a new job on this here. Name it. All right, here we go, boundary. It's up on this little old farm. Brake controllers on, pumps on, get that out of the way. Scroll down just one more where I can see what I'm doing. Oh, we gotta get stuff moved around so we can get our water set. Oop, that's a blinker coming on. Yeah. Bump that going down the road. See, if I turn my flasher on, my blinker on. Wait. You'll think the whole world's come loose in here if that thing goes off and you're not used to it. So, I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna get to rolling on this field. We're on top of a hill up here. We've been back here cutting donuts. There you are. Watch the speed coming downhill, so now we're going back downhill. We got this little patch, we got that little patch. We got a couple smaller patches down the road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 small patches, and then we'll get into some bigger stuff. Yeah. The patches work, they just take a lot of time to spray. Lunchtime. Again, folks, lunch break's over. We're getting on the road. We got all our little dabs done up here. And we're moving now. And we run into a little snafu, a little quirk. Got me a little upset, so I didn't film it. You know how that things go. What the deal was, I was spraying down in one of the little hillier fields, and every time I come up a slope, my transmission would act like it wouldn't want to pull. So we checked transmission fluid. It was a little bit low. I mean, it was right above bad. We put a cord in it, run it some more, did the same stuff. But we figured out, I had Dad come down here and check with me. And I told him, I was like, let's just like run while running, you know. And he was listening. And he wasn't hearing the transmission dog down. He was hearing the motor dog down. So what it was is my fuel filters got plugged up. And I figured that would happen because we had to put a new fuel cap on this tank, on the fuel tank, and the cap that was on there was not sealing off all the way. So we put new fuel tank, fuel filter, put blah, 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 blah. We put new fuel filters on it, runs like a champ now. I got extras in the cab with me because it will probably do it again. But we're cruising right now, around about 26, 27 mile an hour. Can't hardly see behind me. I turn my flow chart, my rate controller off. Flow controller. Yeah, flat ground I'm hitting like 28, 30 mile an hour. We're running up some long hills now. Looks like we're holding about 20. Gotta remember to keep my hand on my hydrostat. Little update on driving down the road. It's 1,000 times better than it was. I drove it over to the big shop from over here, and man, it was a sketchy ride. I mean, I didn't think the ball joints were as bad as they were, but they were. Like 14 mile an hour it was touch and go on the road. I mean, you barely touch the steering wheel, you'd be mayonnaise and mustard, like that. She runs pretty straight now. I've had to stop twice and retighten ball joints just because they weren't setting it in there good enough, but they're holding good now. That's like the plus having this big open cab. You can see your ball joints on each end of the tie rod, and you can see them on the end of the hydraulic steering rail. Now I can't see the one that's up underneath it. Let's see if this truck behind you recognizes the turn signal. But a good rule of thumb on ball joints is if you see one loose, tighten them all up. Yeah, so I'm checking my speedometer with a GPS speedometer on my phone. Because I got a speedometer in the dash that says I'm doing 27. This says I'm doing 26. Now, I also have a speedometer on, I got a speedometer on brake controller too, let's see. What's the speed? Brake controller says I'm doing 25.9, so. And GPS has between 1, 2, 3, 4, between 4 speedometers, we're looking about right. This sprayer it ain't bigger than what we was running. You know, booms are the same size, tanks a little smaller. What's gonna help us out is road travel. So I can get somewhere, I'm running 10 mile an hour faster than I was in a tractor. I just gotta pay attention because it takes the whole lane up. This off, put this in a lower gear, and we're back moving. Oh, well, we got corn stubble out here. We're gonna do this. So, I don't know. I don't know how this thing is set, so we're gonna pull out here on some corn rows and look at it. Ooh. So, looks like we're gonna have 3 running under the hood. So 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna be different. Everything else I've run, I've always ran 2 under the hood of something. Well, I'm glad we checked that. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and cut the pump back on, let it start getting mixed up. We'll get down here in this field, and I'll give y'all kind of a run through on how to get this Apache going. Well, it's just a wee bit different. Anyways, turn the rake trunk back on. There's where we burnt brush piles up. Looks like we got a couple of grubs to come back and pick up. That ain't too bad. So what Jesse's gonna do for me is he's gonna pull the water trailer down here, leave it parked in this field, and we'll be spraying that field. But it'll be parked over here. That way I can just come across this culvert right here without having to fold up and unfold my booms. And that should save me a good bit of time. I think it's only taking me like 10 minutes to fill. It's only taking me like 10 minutes to fill the sprayer up. There he is right there. Right on time. Yeah, that looks good. I think everything, I'll be pulling up kind of behind it. Well, crap. Hey, you'll need to scoot over some because I'll have to be on the pasture side. You'll have to scoot over some. Because my fill-up's on the driver's side. I need to be on the pasture side of the truck. Yeah, so if you scoot over, yeah, get things set up. So yeah, my fill-up's right over here. So I'll have to ease up on the pasture side of the truck. So if he gets right about here, but at that side of the ditch, and a little bit more that way, I can ease up kind of behind him and fill up. All right, so first things first, we gotta pop this thing out of gear, because this is your hydrostatic and your throttle. Give it a little bit of gas, you hit your boom up, raise your booms up, raise your boom up, then you hit your 2 boom out right here, flip, and she'll boom out. Both sides of the boom out. All right. Then you gotta take your angles down so it's past the lock. Then you boom it down. It's about where you want to be at. We running right about there. Okay. Make sure your pump's on. Make sure your rate controller's on. Make sure your GPS is on. We gotta set that. We gotta back up. Now we'll run it. We'll just start. Well, so go back in gear. Gotta get squared up the edge of the field like we want. Like that. Oh, too far. Right there. All right. We're gonna start a new job, rename it. So we come up, we make sure we're looking at her. When I hit this button, make sure your satellite's got a decent signal. And then, hold on. We want to make sure right here, which is follow last path. And then we want to hit this one, which is boundary. You'll see your checker flag come up. So when we get back to this spot, she'll come alive. All right, so we're gonna flip them all on, get you rolling, and they'll come on, boom. And we'll have to overlap when we come back about 10 foot from where we started that. I'm gonna overhang the ditches a little bit just to get it. The other side's all sprayed and everything looking good. And see, so if I'm sitting here, I'll try to look at the edge. You can see I can't see it, so you gotta lean forward just a little bit. You can see your bank. So yeah, that's the downside to this post. Looks like whoever knows the war spot, looks like whoever drove it like this all the time. It's a pretty decent way to drive it. We're trying to overhang and get the briars and then on that ditch. Slow down and not bounce through no little ditches too hard. Of course, with the rate controller, you can do that. You can slow down, it'll slow your rate down. Change the scenery, got to fold it back up. So yeah, we got a good bit of ground covered today. Headed back out. It's almost 7 o'clock this evening. We run a solid 12 hours a day with the sprayer. No, not really. We've been at work, we worked 12 hours a day. Gone since 7 and 7 again. We sprayed about the feed cow. We probably only sprayed like 8 hours. We got a good bit of ground covered. Besides the fuel filter issue that we had, which is highly aggravating. Besides that, you know, it's doing pretty good. We have a power short somewhere. Every now and then, my rate controller right here, it'll turn off. Like if I hit a hard bump, it'll go off, come back on. So I know I got a wire somewhere that is just loose. We gotta find that. Yeah, besides that, it's doing good. And you know, this stupid poster here that you look at there. Those two things. Wire sticks for the post. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's So I'm gonna have to be staring at it for a while. But, you know, going farm to farm, I mean, you jump on the road, it'll get up to 30, but, you know, you'll average about 25 mile an hour in it. Which is really good. For a sprayer, yeah, it's real good. I think it'll hum right along. I don't know. New sprayers probably run faster than this. New earth sprayers. But for what it is, it's doing a good job for us so far. I feel like I've been able to spray more ground in a day with it. Even though, you know, we're running a smaller tank, same size booms. I can have this thing filled back up in less than 10 minutes with one person, so that's pretty good, I think. And it's pulling up, getting out, mixing all my chemicals, getting back in 10 minutes. So, yeah, so far so good. I've sprayed, oh, I'd say 90% of the corn ground in 3 days. And 2 of those days, we only sprayed for like, man, maybe 6 hours. Dave was sprayed for, I think, 8, which is as long as we sprayed. We're getting it knocked out. That all being said, you know, I'm about at my destination here. I don't think the sprayer tonight. Right about the old water wagon, so we can fill her up in the morning. All right, so we're set for tomorrow. We'll be back at it, you know, running wide open again. And like always, if good Lord's willing, we'll catch you on the flip side. Till the next.